Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, depending on where you're located. We'll be starting the webinar in just about a minute. I just want to give the opportunity to everyone to attend. We have some people who are fashionably late, and then we go from there. In the meantime, if you could please type in yes in the chat box if you can hear me. Just want to make sure I'm not talking to myself for half an hour. Awesome, awesome. So great that everyone can hear me. I'm going to share my screen with you guys just now as well. So you should now also see the dashboard screen. Awesome. So welcome to our webinar today. As usual, for every release that we have for essentially PerfectMIND, I do basically a monthly webinar to go over the new features and functions that we've introduced during that release. Today we actually have a lot of exciting features for you. Some of the features that you have been waiting for some time, and you've asked for some time. So I just want to go over that. I'm sure you guys by now have seen essentially our release notes, so it's not going to be too much of a surprise for you. But we're going to go over the details of essentially what these features are and how you can essentially utilize them. So as part of this release, essentially we've had about 3 main features deployed. Obviously, we have a lot of development always in the background to make things better, stronger, making the performance of the system faster. But from the features, essentially we've introduced 3 new features. I've got just a message here that someone had lost my voice. I just want to make sure that everyone can still hear me. So the 3 features that essentially we've introduced are essentially 2 of them are related to discounts. These are kind of specialty discounts. One of them is promo codes and one of them is early bird discount. And in addition, we've actually also introduced a brand new website setting page, and we'll go over the details of that as well. So the first feature essentially that to cover is essentially the promo code function. So I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with what promo codes are. You know, they're essentially usually used for a marketing as a marketing tool to be able to drive more traffic towards your online sales or essentially your POS sales. The objective of this essentially is to create some sort of incentive or some sort of essentially unique opportunity for your clients and your leads to take advantage of purchasing a product during a certain time. To be able to receive additional discounts. Promo codes can be used on essentially, on flyers, on online advertising, and essentially, and I'm sure you guys have seen many examples of it, on regular basis in the mail you receive or the ads that you see online. To be able to create a promo code, you have to first start under the setting window. So to be able to do that, you must be a global admin to be able to access the settings area. So you can click on settings window on here on the left-hand side, or top right-hand side, sorry. And from the left-hand side, you can choose billing, and essentially from this window, choose the option discount. So far, all the steps have been the same as we've had in the past. Here you see the list of discounts that you have, and you're able to generate new discounts. In the past, we've had essentially a discount consider as type, quote unquote, general. This means any discount that you can essentially apply either as a percentage or dollar amount towards your purchases or towards the sales that you're making during the checkout screen. Now, based on this release, we've now introduced new types. One of the types being promotional code. So how does this promotional code work? First of all, starting with the name, you name your discount. So let's say, we call it summer promo. Now, for any discount, you have the ability to either choose the discount to be applied as a fixed amount or as a percentage. What that means, it could either be percentage off on that specific transaction, or a fixed dollar amount. So either get $10 off or 10% off, right? So you choose essentially the category of the discount that you want to have. Let's say we choose fixed amount. And then you essentially populate the value of the discount. So if you chose fixed amount, the value would essentially be $20 or 20, 20 of the currency that your database is set for pounds or Canadian dollars, so on and so forth. If you choose percentage, it will essentially apply as 20%. The next step is for you to be able to choose promotional code. Now, as you select promotion code, some of the fields and options available to you change. First thing, you will see a field called promo code or promotion code. This essentially this field allows you to set what your promo code should be. So you have two options in this window. You can either A, click generate promo code, and the system will generate you a very unique code. Or, better yet, and what I believe most of you guys will use, is to essentially, type in a promo code of your choice. This could include, any type of characters and digits and symbols, so you can essentially choose something that, works for you or for that specific purpose. So, you're going to just essentially type in the promo code summer for our purpose here. Now, one note to add here is, your promo code and your promotion code must be unique. So you cannot use summer multiple times unless you've deleted or discontinued the old summer promotion code. So, and this is for obvious reasons, because, as people enter the promo code during the checkout screen, you don't want them to get two different types of discounts. You only want them to get one type of discount. So you set essentially, the promotion code based on what you wish to have, and now after that you can print it on your flyers, you can put it on your online advertising, you can put it on your email marketing campaigns, you can utilize it really anywhere you want it to. The next step is for you to set up an activation date. So what this means is, when do you want this promo code to activate essentially? So from what certain date? Let's say we're going to essentially choose the date as today, and you can also set the time. And also you can set up when you want this promo code to expire. So from what point onwards you want this not to work essentially. Now this comes very handy for seasonal promo codes. For example, you might have a promo code for the Christmas and season, and you wanted to essentially start, let's say, December 1st and end on December 31st. So you don't want it to essentially continue for, essentially forever, or manually adjust essentially the status of the promo code, and you want it to function by itself. So you can easily do that. In our purpose, that we're essentially choosing the summer promo, or let's say back to school promo, we can set it that, for example, that I want to have this promo expire, let's say September 30th. Now, another function and restriction you can add to this essentially discount is an ability for you to limit the number of uses of this specific promo code. This is, again, another method for you to be able to create more incentive for your essentially visitors or members to take advantage of a certain promo code. So it could be really used as a sales or marketing tactic. You can say, for example, the first 20 people will get X amount % off. So you can actually set a limit. So what this system does, for every transaction that utilizes this promo code, the system will count those, and as soon as it reaches the number of uses or the limit that you set here, the promo code will expire. Again, this gives you a lot of power. Now, if you do not wish to have any essentially limit, you can just leave this field empty. But in this case, we're just going to essentially limit this promo code to only 20 uses. And after this point, you're essentially done. You have two other fields on the bottom here. One of them is count of uses. This essentially just counts how many times this has been used, just for your reference. And second of all, you have a checkbox to discontinue. So if you want to manually discontinue this promo code prior to the expiration date, or maybe if it doesn't have an activation and expiration date, then it's essentially ongoing, you're able to essentially just manually discontinue it when you wish to. So after this step, you essentially press save and you're good to go. So this will take you to essentially, if you go back to the list of essentially discounts that are available to you, you see the new discount added called summer promo, and as you see, still the count of users is 0 or none so far. So now, at this point, you're not done with setting up this, essentially promotion, because in almost every business that I've encountered, when you are running essentially a marketing campaign or you're running a promotion code, it doesn't apply to every single item that you have. You want this to actually only apply to certain items that you're selling. For example, this promo code is only applicable to t-shirts and gloves, let's say, or uniforms and necks. Now, overall, the promotion code type discounts are applicable or can be applicable to any product or any type of membership. But you would have to define which products or which memberships you want to utilize the promo code for. So essentially, to do that, the next step would be to go to essentially either manage products or manage memberships, depending on which products or memberships you want to allow to have the promo code. So what we're going to do, we're essentially visiting essentially our, our inventory under manage products. Now, again, this could be done with also manage memberships. Just want to go to an all view. I can select this certain product that I want to essentially apply this promo code for. So let's say I want to, choose sports bag. And upon choosing the sports bag, I click essentially edit product. And here on the edit window, similar to how we had taxes, you now have a new field called discount. This is what we consider as a lookup field. So what you're able to do, you're able to click on this field and choose from one of the essentially promotion codes that you've actually already you've generated. So for this purpose, we're going to use this summer promo. Now, you can also apply multiple discounts. So you can say that this product or multiple discounts are applicable to this certain product. You can do that as well. Now, as you probably have noticed from this window, you can also utilize it as a shortcut for you to be able to create new discounts as well. So you don't have to go from the settings area to access discounts. If you wish, you can just click on this button, create discount, to be able to generate a new promo code. Now, as I mentioned, this does also work with memberships. So same thing that we did here. If I've essentially go into memberships, and so I go under Manage Memberships, and I choose one of the memberships of my choice. It could be an ongoing, limited, passes, really any type of membership, and you would have the same exact field. All right. Sorry, I'm still running a test database here, so some of the items is still in test. But, you guys should be able to essentially press edit and be able to add the discount exactly the same way that you've added it for products. Now, from this window, essentially from this stage onwards, two things can happen. Essentially either A, people can, so your members can go to your online store and apply the promo code themselves during a purchase, or your staff can also do that as well. So if someone walks into your front desk and is buying a product and shows you a coupon or a flyer and wants to utilize that promo code, that can also be done. So to essentially utilize that promo code, what you do, you essentially add in the product that you want. Now, again, this can be done either from the member site, so on your online store, or it could be done from your user site, so your staff, essentially, as they're selling products. I choose a customer, so in this case, I use Nima Johnson. And as you see, there's a new field added to the system called promo code. So it says, please enter your promo code. So you would essentially type in the promo code and you would press apply. And the price will be discounted based on that. As you see, my price changed from $10 to $8 based on essentially the promo code that I've added. Now, if you're a member, essentially purchasing this product online by yourself through the online store that you made available, you're able to essentially see the breakdown of all the discounts as well, and obviously will show up in your receipt at after completion of the transaction. All right, so that essentially is everything essentially around promo codes. Once again, to recap, you would have to start from the setup section to be able to create your promo code, and afterwards you're able to essentially link that promo code to certain products and memberships that you want to essentially sell. Now, the second type of discount that we've actually introduced, it's an early bird discount. This is obviously a discount that's specifically applicable to events, and it's been developed for specific events. And why an early bird discount is utilized, again, to be able to create urgency and more value for essentially your members or your essentially your audience to purchase and register for an event during a certain time. This is essentially a tactic that's been used for years on to be able to essentially just, again, creating more incentive. So how it would work in in the real world is you have an event, let's say in a month, and you want to essentially jumpstart the registration process of that event by saying that, for the first 10 days or for the next 10 days, we want to allow people to get an additional X amount of percentage or dollar amount in discount if they essentially register in the next 10 days. So that's essentially the overall business case for it. It's a great tactic. Again, you can include that in your email, basically correspondence with your members and your leads. You're able to, promote this on your flyers or really any type of essentially marketing material. The process of creating essentially an early bird discount is very similar to essentially creating the promo code. So you would start from essentially the billing section and under discounts, and you would click new to add a new discount, in this case an early bird discount. So again, it starts with a name. So let's say we type in early bird, or you can essentially type in a certain event name. Let's say bully seminar early bird. Again, as I mentioned before, you have an option to either apply the discount as or set it up as a fixed amount, so a fixed dollar amount or percentage. Let's say we want to essentially do it a fixed amount. That's usually the norm because you offer a cheaper price during a certain time. So knowing your event in the beginning, and if you know your essentially event registration fee is $150 and you want to have an early bird fee of $100, your discount essentially or your amount should be $50. So you would have to do the calculation based on essentially the event that you're setting this up for, or the marketing tactic that you have basically in mind. The second section is type, so you would choose the early bird as a type. Now, we have a new field now introduced here. The field says days before event start. So what this means is up until that specific number, the early bird discount is applicable. After that number of days before the event starts, you will go into regular pricing. So let me just make an example of that. Let's say that I do have an event on the 28th, so August 28th. So on today, I do or I want to set up an event that essentially is for today. What I can do, I can say that I can put a value 10 here, let's say. So what that means is, up until August 18, which is 10 days before the event starts, the early bird discount is applicable towards that event. After that, so the last 10 days to the event, you will go into regular pricing, so no discount is applied towards that transaction. Hopefully that makes sense to everyone. Again, it's a simple process, but that is essentially how it would require to be set. In addition to that, as we had on the promo code, you have an activation date and also an expiration date. So maybe you want this the early bird discount to start on a certain date. So maybe your event is essentially on, again, in December. You want, discounts be applied, or early bird discounts be applied up until November, but you want this essentially, early bird discount to start, in the month of November. So you are able to essentially set up the activation date based on what you wish. Same goes with also the expiration date. If there is no activation or expiration needed, you can just leave these fields empty. And that will essentially make it ongoing and will only follow the 10-day before the event rule. In addition to that, you have number of uses similar to promo code. So you can again limit it, so to build more incentive for people to take action right away. And after that, you essentially, just press save and you're good to go. Your discount is live, and the next step, similar to, promo code, you would now have to apply it to a certain type of event. Again, it's very likely that you don't want this early promotion or early bird discount to be applied to every single type of event that you have in your system. You only want it for a certain event. So let's say that essentially, you either A, are creating an event from scratch. If that's the case, doesn't matter of the type of the event. You always have the discount field essentially set up here, so you can choose one of essentially the discounts that you had previously set up. It's essentially the early bird discounts that you have set up, or you essentially already have the event in your calendar, so you just want to alter that specific event and add that discount to it. So if that's the case, you go into the calendar view, you choose a certain event that you're interested in, you press edit, and you add the discount. From there on, when people are essentially registering for this event, online, so by themselves, your students or members are going to Book Me app or the Scheduler app on your website and are choosing an event to register for. If they fall within the criteria that you've selected, they will automatically get that discount. So that discount will automatically be applied towards that transaction. That is if A, they meet the criteria of number of users, so the discount has not expired based on the number of people who've utilized that discount, and second, that you're on the right range of dates, so you are on the range that you want to allow early bird discount to be applicable. That's one case, so members are going online and purchasing their own event. Or B, you have a paid event that you're essentially registering people into. So let's say if essentially this event that we have here, if it basically had a price associated to it, let's say, as you guys know, you can apply a price, and as you're adding attendees to that event and essentially marking the payment for them, so as you're clicking the Pay Now button here to be able to essentially record the payment for that certain event, if they fall within that criteria, the early bird discount will be applied automatically. So as simple as that. So again, the main two steps to take is first go into essentially the discount window to generate your discount, and second, go into essentially your calendar view to be able to apply that discount towards a certain event. All right, so that's really the main two features that falls within the discount category. The other feature that we released basically last night is a new page called Website Settings. What we wanted to do based on your feedback was to be able to bring all the options that are related to updating your website all under one window. So for you to be able to organize your pages, modifying your forms, updating the elements that either related to Mr. Marketer or your website, updating your website theme, your lounge settings, all of that all under one window. So it's easily accessible and easy to manage. In addition to that, we also wanted to actually, bring some other functions that you guys have provided feedback to us. Number one is an ability for you to launch your website at any time and essentially view the pages live and be able to make the alteration as you go. So this was a function that we've had available previously using our older navigation, and since our release of new navigation, many of you guys have requested for that function to come back. So we've introduced that back so for you to be able to launch your site and easily press edit and essentially alter the content on the page. Now, the second function that we've also introduced based on essentially the feedback that we received from you is that, sometimes you have a certain staff member of yours dedicated in making the changes to your website, but, in the past, in order for them to be able to access the setting window and update the website settings, obviously they had to be global admin because only global admins see the settings option. So with this new change, we also allowed other profiles to also have access to update their or access their website settings. By default, we make the administrator profile have that access. So by default, in addition to your global admin profile, also administrators will be able to access this page and alter the content and manage the website settings, as they go. Now, if you wish to have that access changed, basically, if you wish to have that access changed by either adding a certain profile to have access to this page, maybe you want also your front desk people to have access to this essentially page, or maybe you want to remove the access from administrators to see this page, you can certainly contact our support team and we'll be able to make that change for you rather quickly. From the options available under this page, there's really, it's all the options that you had in the past. It's just been organized better, so you're able to also, get to those options faster. And, as you might notice a change when you go into the settings window, now you don't have those basically options that are related to website. You will only have one option called website setting, which will navigate you to the website setting page. All right, these are some of the main functions that we released, during the release that we've had last night. Again, we've done also a lot of obviously, improvements, enhancements for performance-wise, or even, issues that you guys had, issues that you guys have, brought to our attention in the past. But essentially, the function-wise and the feature-wise, these are the main features that we developed. One other enhancement that we made to our application, for those of you who have a multi-location database with us, we've actually made the functionality available in our system to be able to offer now multiple social sites. So having one social site per location moving forward as well. That's also something that you might not see under the features, but also an enhancement that we've done in the background. In addition to that, we've done some improvements to the system and how we handle emails to follow the CASL legislation in Canada. For those of you who are located in Canada, we're going to do another webinar on that next week. To be able to essentially go over all the details with CASL and the new functions and features that are available. It's an option that you can choose to activate or deactivate in your database, so I highly recommend attending that webinar. We'll make the announcement very soon with a link to register, so you can be aware of the changes that we made, so we can protect you from the CASL legislation. At this point, we're going to move to questions. So if you have any questions about any of the topics that I've explained today, please type into the question box, and I'll be able to go over them one by one. So the first question from Kyla, she asked if the promo codes can be utilized for membership as well. Yes, promo codes can be essentially utilized for really either products or memberships in the system. So either both or either one. And you would have to, as I mentioned, choose a certain product or certain membership that you want to apply this to. The second question we have from Thomas, will it also work for special events or exam? Early bird discounts will work for any type of events, special events, exams, intros, really any type of events that you wish to have it for. Promo codes, however, are only applicable to products or memberships. Jillian has asked if multiple discounts are applicable, will PM only allow for one discount to be applied, not allowing the stack multiple discounts? That is correct. It's only one discount per item. Essentially, now if I'm, me as a member or a student at your school, I'm purchasing multiple products and each product has a different promo code, I can add different promo codes essentially for each one of those products. But for each individual product, I can only have one promo code, if that makes sense. John has asked how to handle postal delivery of early bird registration. Usually the offer sounds like if postmarked prior to 10 days before the event. John, I'm not sure if I follow the question. Obviously you can say essentially if you're specifically asking about what message to have in your marketing material, you can say essentially if registered up until this date, you're, the first 20 people essentially get this discount if you have that limit, or if you don't have that limit, you can just say if, registered before a certain date, you get this price, this special price of X. John has asked, when will perfect billing be discussed? John, I'm not sure if I, follow that. If there's a certain question about billing, I'll be more than happy to go in after essentially this webinar, since we haven't done any changes to the billing application of PerfectMIND during this release. Dean has asked a question about their mobile page or mobile web page, saying it doesn't have essentially some of the information you require. Within each page of the PerfectMIND system, we have two versions. We have the mobile version and also the desktop version. Each can be essentially updated separately, depending on your need. As you see, I'm just editing a certain page. Just might turn a little bit slower. What you would be able to see after editing a page, you would see two essentially HTML boxes. One, it says essentially desktop page, and one says mobile page. So you're able to update the content basically you're able to update any of the content by itself. So if you need help and assistance with that, contact our support team and we'll be able to help with that. All right, so just going over more questions. Aubrey has asked if we can get a cheat sheet with all the list of steps required to create promo codes. Of course, we actually not only we have introduced a new help article under help.perfectmind.com, which can be accessed either by directly going to that link or by clicking on the help button on the top right hand side. We also generated the help videos for you to be able to follow in creating promo codes and also early bird discounts, which will be shared. It can be either access to the help section, or you are able to actually see these help videos through our social media channels in later today, actually. Todd has asked if promo codes can be assigned to products in a batch instead of going into each product. That is an enhancement that will come in the near future. However, at this time, it only is available one by one, essentially. So you would have to edit the products in the membership that you would like to have the promo code assigned to, and then assign them one by one. John has asked, right now we use the Event Planner to Member Solution for seminars, testing, etc. This now offers the same services, right? Yes, John. We actually, offer almost every single essentially feature that, the Event Planner offers. We actually have also an upgrade to our calendar, which is due to be released in the next 60 days, which should be accessible for our beta team. And with that change, not only our calendar, which will become much stronger than what it is today, But in addition to that, we are also improving and enhancing of how the online registration portion works by creating landing page for every event, by creating more restrictions and more settings for you to be able to share that information with only the people that you would like to, having custom surveys for each event. All really cool stuff coming out. So look for that in our next couple of releases, and you'll learn more about that and all the new functionality that we're introducing. So we had a question from Freddie. Freddie's asked, I have a team that my members can join. The team membership offers 10% off anything bought on our Pro Shop. Can I set up a discount for every product and attach it to a specific student? So in your case, so I believe you have a Black Belt Club or Master's Club, and part of that membership you're essentially offering additional discount. So what I would recommend is maybe create a unique promo code for that specific team, and as people join that team, give them that promo code so they can utilize for any of their future transactions. You're not able to offer or link a discount to a specific member. It would essentially be offered to or linked to specific products and memberships, but you're able to only offer and show that promo code to a specific person or group of people. I hope that answers your question. John has asked, can I change the date of the transaction? You cannot change the date of a transaction. If transaction has invoices that are due in the future, you're able to actually change the due dates of essentially those invoices, but you can change the transaction date. That's also very similar with a lot of the accounting softwares as well. Transaction date is not something that majority of accounting or billing softwares are allowed to be changed, but invoice due dates can obviously be changed. Ian has asked, do you have an update on when the recording of the webinar planning your back-to-school marketing blitz will be sent to us via email? I still have not received it. Ian, that actually webinar was sent out. If you are in the Mr. Marketer group or even our Champions Way Facebook group, you'll be able to access the recording there. I'm going to just write down your name and send you another email with the recording to that as well. So to ensure that you do get them. So Dean has asked, I'm just essentially trying to see what the follow-up question is. In regards to the mobile page, so Dean, if you contact our support team so we can take a look at that. One thing about our essentially our pages within PerfectMIND for social site is that we actually have restore points that will be essentially populated for each page. So these restore points are essentially backups. Every time you save the page, we actually create a restore point, and we keep about 20 of the restore points, so 20 versions of the page in the past. So if you make an edit, an alteration to the page, and basically it makes a change or it's not to your satisfaction, you're able to always go back to the previous version. All right, I'm just kind of going through all the questions. So Amir has asked, how can I set up a family plan so one person gets charged but everyone else shows active? Amir, what you're able to do, as you're selling memberships, not all memberships need to have a price associated to them. You can actually have memberships with a 100% discount, or just by, as you're checking out that membership, you're able to change the dollar amount to zero. So in the case that you have one family member paying for all the memberships but everyone else would like to show active or have access to classes, you're able to sell the first or the primary family member a membership with full price, and the additional family members, you can sell them a membership as a $0 value. So this will still create the membership on their file, it will still give them access to the classes that you would like to give them access to, and they will show up as an active student in your database. but only one charge will go through. Now, to add to that, we're actually currently in development of our family function. We're really enhancing family function to deliver more functionality, such as family plans, family memberships, a lot of really cool stuff. So that is a function that should be released within the next 2 to 3 months. So keep an eye for that as well, as our family function will, by this update, will be really the strongest family option out there. So Scott Wilkinson has asked, do we have an ability to change Mr. Marketer promotions and emails and landing pages? You're able to change the offering to elements. So if you're actually in this window for website settings, and if you go to update elements, you'll be able to update essentially what is the offering that you have for each one of essentially the promotions that are part of Mr. Marketer. For example, the back to school promotion, you can change the price, you can change the duration, you can also change the offering. Right? Same thing with quick registration. You can do that as well. You can change everything that's associated to that promotion. You're not able to change the content itself, so you can't completely reward the email, but there are certain aspects of each email and landing page that can be altered to elements. So you can essentially click update element. If you're a Mr. Marketer, you'll see a lot more options here in this window, but you would see options such as essentially back to school promotion, or a back to school offer, or birthday party pricing, or stuff like that, so which you can update. Todd has asked, an event planner members are allowed to register for multiple events. We'll be able to do that. So Todd, this is a function that will be available after the upgrade to our calendar in about 60 to 90 days. At this point, you will only be able to register for one event at a time. Obviously, the member can go back and register for multiple events, but it's essentially one event per attempt, essentially. All right, so it seems like we've answered all the questions. I'll give it another couple minutes in case you have more questions coming up. If not, we can conclude the session for today. As usual, this webinar will be recorded and will be shared with everyone within the next few days. And obviously our support line is open to either chat, phone, or email to be able to answer any questions that you might have in regards to these features or any other features that we've introduced in the past. All right, so it seems like actually one more question came. Jillian has asked if they can use multiple promo codes during checkout. That is correct. You are able to do that. Dean has asked, I'm receiving email stating that my Facebook and lounge is not linked. This is something that happens if there is a setting on your lounge or Facebook app has been changed, or overall Facebook usually releases new updates to their app procedures, and they've introduced new settings and removed some old settings. So as this changes, we are forced to reset up your app. So if you contact our support team, we'll be able to disconnect the app with your lounge and reconnect it for you to stop getting those messages. No problem. So I thank you thank everyone on behalf of Perfect Mind and Champions Way for attending this webinar. Once again, the support channels are open to you if you have any further questions, and also the webinar will be recorded and will be shared with everyone in a few days. Thank you, and hope to see you guys next release and next webinar. Have a good day.